Good evening to one and all, and welcome to the Reel McCoy. I'm your host, Meffistoe, and with me, my co-host, Oh My Feelings. Good evening to you, sir.
Hey, buddy.
And today we have a special guest, Bex. How are you this evening?
I am excellent. Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Awesome. What is the Reel McCoy? The Reel McCoy is your weekly movie podcast where we send you off to watch a movie. You watch it, come back to us, and we geek out on it, we nerd out on it, break it down, and just mishmash it around. This week is something special. Tropic Thunder from 2008. But before we dive to everything, let's go over our lower thirds. So if you want to interact with us on the Reel McCoy podcast, of course you can interact with me because I'm the host of this thing. Right. I'm joking. At Meffistoe on Twitter, of course, our Instagram at Meffistoe79, or of course you can always email us at the Reel McCoy podcast on gmail.com. If you should want to watch us on Twitch rather than YouTube, you can always go to twitch.tv/The Reel McCoy podcast and watch us through there if you want your lag time lowered, just in case. And of course, because we have a lovely guest, you can go watch Beck's stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/BexNez. Or of course, if you want help with your streaming stuff like I do, you can go to her channel, youtube.com/C/Becky Lee, and enjoy that. She helped me with stuff that I didn't even think I needed help. And of course, like this video, share it around, and subscribe to the channel. The channel has been growing very steadily the past few weeks, so let's keep it going. Let's go to the chat. Who do we have in the chat? We've got Saf, we've got Biffer, and we've got Hunter Pros. Welcome, guys. Welcome. It is a happy day because this week has been fucking awesome because Tropic Thunder is an awesome movie. Oh, my feelings. Take it away. Don't go diving into it. How was your week? Let's keep the busy bee away.
I will have to say I genuinely forgot how much I just genuinely enjoyed this movie. It's just all around a blast. I reviewed the film 3 times over the week, then had to do all the notes and everything. But I had so much fun watching it every single time, and I wouldn't mind even watching again immediately after the podcast is wrapped today.
Awesome. Bex, you haven't watched this in a while, and then I kind of forced you to do it. How was your viewing kind of?
Oh, I was happy to be forced. I love this movie. I'm not the kind of person that rewatches movies again and again and again. I really am. But this one I have seen 3 times before. So this was number 4 for me. So that's a lot of viewings for me. Love it.
Nice.
Solid movie.
All right. Cool. Yeah, I watched it 4 times. I've edited it and I've watched it live. There's a watch party option if you want to go and watch the movie with me. I know that my microphone was not as good because it was loud as fuck. But if you want, there's a timer. You can sync your movie and just watch it with me with my stupid ass commentary. It was just a blast to watch it with other people. I think we got like Saf and Biffer was on for a little bit. I just enjoyed it, laughed, screamed, and ate a few things that got stuck in my mouth. Anyway, so just to get us started, let's go into behind the screens.
Production take 2.
Behind the screens is where we defer to All My Feelings and we get the lowdown on what's been happening with the production side of things, the backstage stuff.
Okay, this is probably going to be one of the longer behind the screen segments, as I mentioned backstage. This has so many twists and turns in it. So originally, Ben Stiller, when he was actually writing the first original mock drafts and concepts of the film. He wanted it to be based off of actors that he knew that were actually when they would go on these like war movie kind of roles, they would go to kind of basic training and stuff, and they would go to these like pseudo boot camps, and they found themselves like self-aggrandizing and found themselves more important than they actually were. And thought that they were actually part of some kind of cohesive unit. So originally, the script was actually going to have it so none of the actual war bits were actually going to happen at all. It was all going to be about actors that go to an actual boot camp and then come out with PTSD.
That's a nice. They do reference it. They do reference it a little bit, but just references.
Yes. As Jay Baruchel's character is the only one who actually went to the
boot camp.
Fictional boot camp. Yeah. Downey's Robert Downey Jr. originally turned down the offer because he was reading parts of the script with Ben Stiller over just a call, and he said, "This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard." And Stiller's response was, "I know, right? But it's hilarious."
Yeah.
Downey actually based all of Kirk Lazarus off of actors that he admired, but that go too method too often. Which one you can name off the bat?
Daniel Day-Lewis.
There you go. He also based off of Russell Crowe,
obviously,
and Colin Farrell.
I know. I said I wouldn't disturb you. You mean the Colin Farrell that was in Phone Booth, right? That method actor.
No, I mean the Colin Farrell that was in Alexander and that was in Bruges and
Phone Booth.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Continue, sir. Continue.
Hey, I wasn't the one who made this decision. Robert Downey Jr. did, okay? Yeah. Speaking of Lazarus, the character originally was actually supposed to be Irish and have a very thick Irish accent when he was not portraying when he was actually portraying the actual the staff sergeant. I just forgot his name.
Osiris.
Osiris, yeah. When he wasn't playing Osiris.
When I have to remind you of names, I know we're in deep trouble.
Well, this is a character within a character. It's super meta. But Downey already had previous experience doing an Australian accent in another film that we have not reviewed yet, but we always talk about, which was Natural Born Killers.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was
so they decided to stick with
Australian documentarian. Yeah.
Yep. Downey actually, besides his reservations about the movie being the stupidest thing he's ever heard of, he also had massive reservations about doing blackface. But it was actually he received positive feedback from his co-star, which was Brandon T. Jackson, who plays Al Pacino. Al Pacino, by the way.
Yes.
He's who actually, when he saw him act, he realized that he was not actually trying to utilize blackface in a negative way. He was trying to actually portray the fact that blackface in itself was inherently stupid.
Yes.
And mocking the concept of it itself. So,
and he has like Al Pacino constantly referring to that particular thing.
Yes.
To basically counterbalance, but we'll get into that.
And it was also the fact that Ben Stiller wrote that it was actually really a skewering of method actors and how they take their roles too seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Given the fact that Kirk Lazarus went so far as to get that skin pigmentation surgery and everything, where it's like, yeah, you're going a little bit too meta. To even further bring that point home, Stiller actually did multiple screenings in front of the. Do you guys? I know you guys. Bex, I believe you are from the UK.
Yes.
And Meph, you're from Israel. But do you know what the NAACP is?
Yes.
It's
the people who complain every time there's a blackface on. Yeah.
Okay.
That is a very inappropriate way to refer to the
I love to put you on your spot.
That's-
Yes, I know
that's
exactly
close.
what the. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but he did host several screenings in front of multiple representatives of the NAACP and African American journalists, and about one of the only people that had a negative response to it was Spike Lee, who was vehemently against it. But everyone else seemed pretty favorable to it because, as we'll discuss throughout the film, Kirk even apologizes to Brandon for what he did. It's like I meant no harm. I was just trying to portray a character. Yeah. So, moving on.
Today,
now let's talk about some more fun stuff.
We'll talk. Well, I have something to say, but we'll go.
Yeah.
Keep going. Keep going.
Stiller originally wanted Keanu Reeves to play Tug Speedman.
Oh no.
And with Keanu, with how he had been, some of his lines, even in some of his best roles, like in Neo in the I know Kung Fu. Him playing Simple Jack.
No. No. It's a good choice that he didn't go with Keanu. This is 2008 Keanu. No.
But I think Keanu was working on another project at the time. Anyway, and actually, initially Stiller wanted to actually play the part of Rick Peck.
The Pecker?
The Pecker, yes. Yeah, his agent.
That could have been good. Yeah, Ben Stiller as the Matthew McConaughey character. That could work.
But as he was turned down, as Keanu turned down the role, Stiller picked up the role of Tug. Then they actually offered the role of Rick Peck to Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise turned it down. Then he and Stiller created the character of Les Grossman together. That character did not exist in the early drafts of the
That's the only like backstage stuff that I know.
Yeah.
Is the whole Tom Cruise saga.
Oh boy.
One more on the start. Bex, when you watch this for the very first time, be honest. Did you or did you not know it was actually Tom Cruise as Les Grossman?
I had no idea.
See? I picked it up when I watched this for the first time. I was like, "Whoa, Tom Cruise is going all at it, like bald and everything." It's probably, and I'm genuinely, that's what I thought. I thought it was him genuinely without his, like, that's his real hairline. Because Travolta.
And his hands.
It's the hands.
Not his hands. No,
like,
not the hands. The hair. The hair. I thought he was actually bald because there's a lot of Hollywood actors that have that particular bald area, and you don't see it because they're always with either weaves or toupees or whatever, right?
Yep.
Go on.
But anyway, back to the role of Peck. Then from there, since Cruise turned it down, they created the role of Grossman for Cruise. Then it actually went to, unfortunately, Owen Wilson, who dropped out of it.
It could have worked, but okay.
Well, he dropped out because this was his mental health issue time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he dropped out, and then McConaughey finally was the one who got the role, which I thought he nailed it.
He nailed it.
Sycophantic, almost in love with his client kind of agent.
Yeah.
And from there, speaking of Les Grossman, though, Paramount refused to release any stills, footage, dailies, anything that showed Tom Cruise as Les Grossman. It was supposed to be a giant surprise.
It was
for a little bit, but there was one photo got leaked of Tom Cruise in that the Les Grossman bald cap there. Yeah. It got leaked. Then Paramount went ballistic with the lawyers.
Oh shit! They went all like Last of Us 2 ballistic.
Yeah.
Last of Us 2 ballistic.
So what we're gonna do is we're going to sue the ever loving shit out of you, if you don't remove any trace of this whatsoever.
It's so weird that today you cannot do it. Like it will be mega Streisand effect. Reddit is gonna go all over that shit. 4chan, whatever you can think
had
of.
if it popped up at one point in time at all for even half a second on one website, it would have gotten picked up and would all over Reddit the next day.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
hey, Bex, if she wants to get in, just let her in the
just let her in.
room.
Just let her in.
No, apologizing for the puppy already.
Don't worry about
No,
it.
it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's no big deal.
Totally fine.
A couple of last notes, though. The film's production actually brought an estimated $60 million into the economy of the island of Kauai, which is where it was actually all filmed. It was filmed there, but also adorable.
Yeah.
Dachshund.
He's going to steal the show.
You won't even know to say it, don't worry.
It's fine.
But it's a puppy.
We've had worse.
But also Ben Stiller actually had a home on the island, and that's also part of the reason why they decided to film there.
Okay.
The film advising group Warrior Inc. actually made sure that all period costumes were correct, that all of the actors could actually fire the weapons they're supposedly using and reload them correctly and perform actual basic tactical maneuvers. So they actually did go through the fictional boot camp.
So they went on a real live boot camp for what, a day or two, probably.
Probably something like that. And then they had live coordinators on set making sure that everything was up to snuff.
Yeah.
Because they actually wanted this to be kind of authentic.
They actually did pay a certified armorer to be on the set this time.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Unlike certain other film recently in the news.
Yes.
You've heard about that, Bex?
Mm-hmm. I have, yes.
Yeah. Let's call it the Alec Baldwin saga.
Oh God!
Right.
Let's
give me one last thing, because otherwise we'll be here all day.
We got two more notes real quick.
Two more.
6 companies worked on the effects of this film. 6 different companies. They created over 500 different shots of virtual effects for the film, and they were changing them almost weekly in editing due to the feedback of test audiences. Yeah, that's utterly insane.
I hate too much test audiences. I hate it when they go. It's
I will have to say though, it worked out on this one. It did work out in this one. I know. So,
right.
I will say, and the one last note, it did have a $92 million budget, but it did return $196 million in gross. So,
and it probably sold a shit ton of DVDs. Shit ton of DVDs.
And now, and also it had booty sweat and busted nut bars been a thing. Oh, they would have sold like gangbusters.
Oh, yes, for sure. For sure. So,
speaking of, let's get into our first show, which is booty sweat.
Yeah, well, the whole movie kind of. Oh shit! Oops. Yeah, can't put that on screen. Oops. There we go. Hold. Technical difficulties. Yes. Mute, and damn. There we go. Booty sweat and busted
nut bars.
It literally starts off with a Al Pacino commercial, but the whole thing is it's sort of an introduction to who are you gonna see in the movie. It's so weird, but it gives you a backstory without giving you any backstory.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
So we get Ben Stiller as the big action star who's basically a falling star. We've got the hot new black actor. We've got the method actor, and we've got the stupid comedy fart jokes guy.
Oh, and I love the fact that they were openly mocking Eddie Murphy so hard in this.
Dude, that was so good.
Chef's kiss.
That was
the fatties too.
Yeah. I like this one. It's like, Who left the
Left the
fridge
fridge
open?
of the Scorcher 4. Yeah.
Scorcher.
Oddly enough,
Excuse me, that's Scorcher 6. Because
6,
they did it.
whatever.
Oh, that's Scorcher 7. Because they did it 3 more times that nobody
yeah.
expected.
And notice the fact that now he has twins strapped to his chest and he has two. Now he's holding 2
guns this
firearms.
Yeah, it's sort of, it kind of gives us a little bit of introduction. I like the fact that this is 2008 and I love this shot. This is 2008. We have got A, Spider-Man, B, the future. It came out the same year, but the future
Iron Man. Yeah. No, but I wanted to touch on this one because this is actually one of the funniest bits of the opening up. Tobey Maguire was actually only on set for 2 hours to film this.
Oh,
2
dude,
hours.
That's funny.
That's it. Did you see that how they announced him as multiple Oscar winner Kirk Lazarus and
5-time Oscar winner Kirk Lazarus.
It was VMA winner for Best Kiss.
Yeah, Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire. It's like,
because that's what he won the kiss with what's her face in Spider-Man.
Kirsten Dunst, the upside down one. Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll jump in. So we got the introduction and we jump into the first kind of big scene where everything goes horribly wrong. It starts off basically because you don't know what's happening. If you watch this for the first time and you get that feeling, it's like, what is this like commercial movie thing? If you don't know anything about the movie, it's like, what are these movie commercials are all about? And suddenly you're thrusted into basically a Vietnam thing. Mm-hmm. And before you actually see it, before the moment where Ben Stiller's character can't cry and we get to see like the film crew and the director, you're like, what the fuck is going on? And what are these weird fucking hands? And that kind of starts off the whole movie. I
hold my hands.
Hold my hands.
Banana peels.
Yeah. Yeah, I like this one. Where Robert Downey Jr., if you look closely and critically, he's not really crying. He could have, but what he mostly does is spits a lot.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
He spits a lot, and he's like trying to get Ben Stiller's character to cry, but he can't really cry. And that, again, remember we talked about this numerous times. It is like you don't understand it's a setup, but it's a setup till the very, very end where they have a similar kind of interaction, and Tug Speedman, the actor, finally gets to shed one tear at the end of the movie.
One line he says where he's my legs are cold at the end.
Yeah, at the end.
Lazarus there, he's like, yeah, because they're in a puddle.
Exactly. Yeah, yes, look, it's in a puddle. Don't worry about it. It's in a puddle. It's okay.
It's like, oh, that's brilliant. Oh, that's so brilliant.
And I love it. I love it when movies do like these setups and payoffs. It's fucking awesome. So we get a little bit.
What? So we do a rewrites now? Get your hand off me. He's like, is it okay if I make a pee-pee? It's like, what am I watching?
and then of course everything kind of falls apart, which sets up the whole premise of the movie, where it's basically, and I don't know if you've noticed it, Bex. I don't know if you've noticed it. It takes a lot of the story of Apocalypse Now, where Apocalypse Now, the behind the stuff of Apocalypse Now is everything went absolutely fucking wrong in just shooting Apocalypse Now, along with Martin Sheen taking copious amounts of LSD. Francis Ford Coppola, who was the director, took copious amounts of whatever he was taking. And
let's see.
And Brando went super method.
Brando.
Yeah. So it's a lot of like little things. And this scene in particular is like Steve Coogan, which I fucking love Steve Coogan. He you put him in so many different movies in a very bare minimal role, and he does
Yeah.
so much with it. It's like even in Hot Fuzz, where he had like this tiny little role and he fucking nailed it. And I love
Yeah.
fucking Steve Coogan.
Yeah.
You do too, right, Bex?
Oh yes.
That his name had to be Daniel Cockburn. It's like,
Well, it's a playoff on British names.
I
And
know, but
and how they use cock in many different ways just to make you make you smile, make you
Yes.
happy.
But then the blowback where the assistant that's Bill Hader is running with Daniel, and stuff like, don't worry about it. Les always uses words like emergency and potentially fired.
Yeah.
And then he's watching that interview that they had with sorry, that's right after this. Yeah, our first introduction to Les is first.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
this is the first introduction to Les, and I will defer to Bex because I did ask you this before. You watch this for the first time, there's a guy there, and that's Tom Cruise, but nobody fucking knows this is Tom Cruise. When you found out, you probably found out at the very end of the credits, right?
Yeah.
What do you think of this character?
Oh my god, he's wonderful. He's I just, now when I look back, it's even better because I know it's Tom Cruise. That made it 1,000 times better. But at the time I was like, what a nut job. But fantastic.
Right. Do you know who he's actually playing? Because he's playing somebody very specific in Hollywood.
No.
Tom Cruise took a lot of inspiration from Harvey Weinstein.
Oh wow.
The bad guy.
The bald part, I'm not sure because it's rumored. But the fact that he's fat and very hairy and disgusting, and another very particular thing, I don't know if you've noticed or not, the Diet Coke.
Mm-hmm.
The Diet Coke is, let's just say, very particular Harvey Weinstein thing. But by the way, not only Harvey Weinstein, but a lot of Hollywood producers, and of course, that's the last time I mentioned it in a while, Donald Trump.
Yeah,
but this is 2008. Okay,
I guess that's what inspired the hands, right?
All of it. It's all a part of the look. He was trying to get to an epitomal
cheeky
like studio executive. But we get an introduction to Les Grossman. We get an introduction to Bill Hader's character. By the way, Bill Hader, to me, always played this particular character in a lot of the movies he did. So I guess it's a Ryan Reynolds thing again. Feelings, you say?
In a way, it depends on which film. Like, he's always been kind of the sidekick up until, I want to say, Trainwreck, when he was the romantic love interest of Amy Schumer in Trainwreck. And then
yeah, I think it's rather the same as well.
Now more recently, he's been the HBO series that he was on. I just forgot the name of it. He plays a former hitman who gets out of life and he wants to become an actor, and he starts taking acting classes and stuff. But his life comes back to haunt him in very humorous ways. There's one scene where a 9-year-old literally beats the ever-loving hell out of him, and it is hilarious.
Okay. All right. Cool. So
what I wanted to touch on that was right after that is the scene where they show that side of Tug Speedman and how genuinely sad of a person he really is.
When he talks to Pecker for the first time,
yeah. Where you think if there was someone who could be able to cry on set, it would be him. Because I'd be like, just think about his own life and just start sobbing.
Yeah. But we also get a little bit of a little bit of backstory. It comes up at the end. Another little setup where he wants to adopt a kid because he's
Yeah.
yearning for a family, but he's like every other Hollywood actor or actress that wants a kid. It's for show, not really that they want to have the kid.
Well,
It's
except for
just
I
a
think in
sort of a trophy.
Tug's case, and I think it was actually a true like almost altruistic, but really more self-fulfilling act because he wants someone to love him so much.
Mm.
Because even in his that fake interview with
Yeah.
with oh my god, Tara, the former supermodel who had that talk show.
Yeah. I know.
Anyway, where he's just like, you're on the wrong side of 40, and someone close to you said that, and he said, "Wait, someone said that they were close to me," and you go,
Sad.
"Oh,
Yeah.
wow,
He yearns for company, basically.
And they do mock Simple Jack, and they show some stills of like they show a couple of just a couple of seconds of Simple Jack.
Yeah.
That woman that's with him.
That's his actual wife.
That's actually Ben Stiller's wife. Yeah.
Yeah. And she's in a lot of his movies. She was in Zoolander. She was in Dodgeball.
Yep.
I'm probably forgetting more of it. Like, there's a lot of Ben Stiller movies,
she had
but she was.
I don't know if she was.
I always thought she was.
Yeah, she was. She did a small cameo in Starsky and Hutch.
And I always thought she was the real life Marsha from Brady Bunch. Then to realize she played Marsha on the Brady Bunch movie that came out years later.
Yeah. In late
cool.
90s.
So
she actually got her start in a show called Hey Dude on Nickelodeon. Why I know that, I don't know.
So we get the director who is frustrated with the actors, and the actors kind of, he can't even talk to Al Pacino without the bodyguard blocking his path. And he goes and he kind of schemes with Nick Nolte's character. And Nick Nolte says, well, you got to treat them as if they're babies. Put them in a real life situation. Tell them you have hidden cameras, but just let them loose. And he kind of ropes everybody to do that. They land somewhere unknown. I know I'm pushing it forward. And they have one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie where he's like pointing out to them, telling them what's what, and then it's like, let's make the greatest war movie ever. He turns around and
speech. He literally walks over and goes,
you can hear the click, and then
there's a split second where he reacts to it before it explodes. That's superb.
It was that moment of realization, like, and this is what he realized. He done fucked up.
Yeah. And I love the fact that, like, Tug Speedman's like, oh, okay, he disappeared. Oh, very funny. And he picks up his head. It's like, look, this is corn syrup, and he puts it in.
It's corn syrup and latex. It's warm, and it tastes like blood.
And the first time he puts it in his mouth, he's like, you can see it in his face, the taste. That's the funny bit before he even talks. That's my favorite scene.
You have all of
one of my favorite scenes.
It's one of all of the members of that heroin ring, and the background watching go like, they have no fear.
Yeah,
because he picks up his head and goes rah 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 rah.
And he puts it on the end of his M16. Like, woo!
Oh, we're gonna get these shots.
And at the continuation of the scene where they go into the actual ambush, but Tug is like, this is the scene number 23. This is the ambush scene. And he goes off and he's like firing everything. And my thinking at the like 17th million time is like, that magazine he has in that M16 has endless bullets.
Oh yeah,
I've seen it. It's yay small. It's this small, and it holds about 15 bullets, and he's firing automatic. That ends after like one click. I was like, oh, they're firing a lot of magical bullets. And we have Danny McBride with the whole like rigged forest going, big ass titties. Oh, what a scene. All right. With that scene, we'll go into our first segment of the night. The dreaded Missing Marquee. What is Missing Marquee? Missing Marquee is where we take 10 posters of movies, take their text off, display them, and our guest will try and guess which movie this is. And of course, as always, the chat participation to save our guest is most welcome.
Help me,
Let
chat.
us try. All right, cool. All my feelings, save your energy. If you've got it, just if you got it, flaunt it, but just don't shout it.
Am I supposed to know the answer to this?
Yes.
Oh my days, not a clue.
I went through all of them. 3 of them will be very difficult for you. This one is not.
All of them will be.
All right, just guess. Who are the 3 actors in this?
I have no idea. Who's that person?
That's Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis,
behind
I
him.
know him. That's
Yeah.
a long time ago. This must be like 90s.
It's Kate Blanchett. And of course, I'm terrible with names.
It's
but
Billy
I
Bob
like
Thornton.
It's Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah. I don't know this. I know this, but I can't remember the name.
Oh, that's
you
what I
don't know
should have said. I should have said that.
Yeah, exactly. All my feelings?
I'm gonna pass.
Ooh, chat doesn't know. We've got Saf. Bandits. Saf, you fucking Googled it. I know it. I know it. You Googled it. This is Bandits. This is one of the hard ones.
Oh. What is that's a submarine battle thing? That's I don't know.
It's a submarine battle thing.
Yeah, that's I'm like, what movies has that? I have no idea. Oh, this is going to be so embarrassing.
It's a not well-known movie. No, it is not Red October. Good guess. Good guess. Not a lot of submarine movies out there. Yeah.
No.
Oh, my
clue.
feelings. I know
Is
it. This is a
U-
difficult
Is that
one.
U571?
That is not U571, although that's a good guess.
Is it just Das Boot?
That is Das Boot.
Yeah, it's one of the 2.
Now, this film, not a lot of people have watched it, but everybody in the world
knows
watched
the meme.
the memes.
Oh God. Did they? Did I watch the memes?
You definitely watched as a World of Warcraft player, you definitely watched the memes.
Have you ever seen anyone? You've ever seen an actor portraying Hitler saying something, and then it has modified subtitles on the bottom?
Yes,
It's from this movie.
That's where this from.
Oh
This is from.
God, what's it called? Because there's a Yorkshire version, and that's where I'm from.
This is called Downfall. Thank you, Biffer. I've seen it. I've seen it immediately, but I wanted to have Bex try and guess it. Speaking of Russell Crowe.
Make a movie singing songs and fight around the world.
Yeah, fight around. Don't be embarrassed. A lot of our guests don't know the names of these movies.
I am so bad at movie names. I wouldn't even know that was who was it? Russell Crowe.
It is Russell Crowe. It is
So
Master
and Commander.
Oh. Oh.
This is the third of a trilogy.
Of the Robert Rodriguez.
Of the Robert Rodriguez trilogy.
No.
That is Salma Hayek and Antonio Banderas at the
Banderas.
back.
And that is Mr. Johnny Depp.
That is Johnny Depp.
Oh. No.
It is not Desperado. That's the second one.
Second one.
No idea.
The major difference between this one and Desperado is Salma Hayek not taking off her clothes.
Very, very true. I would also say there's a lot of other differences as well. As Enrique Iglesias is not randomly carrying a rocket launcher in the car
That's
case.
also true. That is
This
also
has
true.
Enrique Iglesias in it.
Yes.
What?
I think it's from 2005. Once Upon a Time in
DK!
Mexico. Very
Good
good.
job, DK.
Very
You
nice.
got it, buddy. Oh, this is one of the best
This
B
is
horror
one of
films
the
of all
best.
time. Oh,
Yeah,
it's so
one
good.
of the best like B movies ever.
I feel like I should remember something like that. That is a fantastic poster.
Yeah, the poster is fucking phenomenal.
If
I
you've
love
never
posters like this where it's like the old school. It was a picture, but they made it into like a portrait, like it's painted.
If you have never seen this before, Bex, I highly recommend watching it because it's just like it's a genuinely enjoyable watch because it's like it's so
It's very
campy and
gory. Yeah, it's
gory.
I love
yeah.
gore.
Yeah.
I have
By
no
the
idea what this is.
Reanimator.
It's the Reanimator. The actor, I don't remember the name, but he played various amounts of characters in the Star Trek universe. So he was Shran in Enterprise. He was he did a lot of like alien roles in Star Trek.
He was also a bit player in a lot of roles too.
And he was also supposed to be Riker. He was the original.
Oh,
yeah, he was
I
the
didn't know.
original guy before Jonathan Frakes to be Riker. He was Wei-Yun in Deep Space Nine, correct?
I do believe I know this one, but I will.
Go ahead. Bex will never know.
I believe this
no
is the
idea.
day the Earth stood still.
The day the Earth stood still.
I mean, was that a Cylon?
No, but it was one of the first movies where you had a depiction of robots conquering the Earth. It was an innovative movie.
For its time. Yeah. And they actually interacted with humans, and they actually did, oddly enough, a horrible remake of it in the early, it was in the mid-aughts, where Keanu Reeves played the alien.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
haven't
it was
seen it,
sad.
and I
The
don't
remake
want to
was-
see it.
Don't. It's awful.
Right. Hugh Jackman, Rachel Weisz.
I love Hugh Jackman.
I know. It's a oddly good film. It was, I think it was bombed when it came out. Mrs. Meth watched it quite a bit of times.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, my feelings?
Is this Serengeti?
It is not the Serengeti, no.
Then I don't know. I don't know it.
It is called The Fountain.
Fountain. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. This is a really well-known movie. Oh, Biffer got it. The Fountain. Biffer got The Fountain.
Yeah.
See, I'm one of those people that like, even like the films that everybody's seen, not seen it. As you're finding out now.
In the front, it's hard to
like,
see.
Is it like The Great Escape?
This is The Great Escape.
The Great Escape. Yes. They mentioned it in the movie we just watched.
The Great Escape. And last but not least.
Come on.
It is The Great Escape. This is not The Great Escape.
Oh man.
Okay, so this is Paul
Hustler.
Newman. Yes, it's The Hustler. Biff forgot it again. Oddly enough, they made a film called The Color of Money, which takes this character, the Hustler character, and pins him with Tom Cruise as the younger Hustler coming in.
Yep.
And The Color of Money is spectacularly good. The Hustler, not so much.
I love that movie.
I know, but if you compare the two, I would rather watch Color of Money any day of the week.
I feel like I'm going to walk away from this with a load of homework to watch more movies.
Well, I'll tell you what. Ever since
Well, you
we started,
can.
ever since
It's not
we started the
required.
podcast, ever since we started the podcast, I've been going back to the well, and my well is deep. And I've watched quite a few movies that I kind of forgot that I've watched when I was like 12 years old, 13 years old, where I technically shouldn't have watched, but there's a multitude of movies that are fantastic. I wish we could do a podcast a day to cover a movie and do it, because there are loads of really, really fantastic movies. Even like some of them are like 70s movies, 60s movies, early 80s movies that are phenomenally good without all the, like, either it's cheap effects or without effects at all, that are really, really good because the story is good. They're written good. And even if they're not written good, they're entertaining enough to cover the spread, as in, oh, I know what's going on. I'm just here to eat popcorn and just sit for like 90 minutes and watch an entertaining movie. Cool. Right. Back to Tropic Thunder. So, there we go. I want to touch upon this scene.
Now it better be the scene I'm thinking of with them. Yep, that's it. It's like it's like you.
This is
Like,
this
you'll
is
be a
why.
miracle. Like the dumbest motherfucker that ever lived.
Yeah.
Wait, no, you be sitting in the bathtub farting and giggling to yourself like an idiot.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's where Kirk Lazarus explains to Tug Speedman the ins and outs of Hollywood, basically, or how good movies, or let's say Oscar-winning movies, are made. But they're also basically talking about method acting, because we've got the method actor and the kind of shallow action hero warrior guy, and they get into it.
The gaslighting that Kirk always does to Tug throughout the entire movie, where he always builds him up and is like, "Oh yeah, by the way, you're a fucking idiot." Like when he's like, "Hey, remember how Stallone was really kind of bloated and everything in Rambo 1? You're more like, you're looking like you were in Rambo 2. You know, you're cut."
Yeah.
When he tries to get the map from him later.
Yeah.
And this one where he's like, "Oh, so you really went deep on that one. Well, thank you. I appreciate that." Like, again, trying to like, "Veronica, you're the dumbest motherfucker that ever lived."
And you know what? You know what's? It made me laugh so hard when I did the watch party, because I actually watched Rambo 1, 2, and 3 to edit them. And in the first one, it's like he's not cut. He's right after Rocky, where he tried to separate Rocky and Rambo, and he was severely, like, he looked like skinny even.
Mhm.
And in the second one, he's Schwarzenegger buffed.
Yeah.
Oh,
But this is also the scene that's one of the most
recognized scene, like,
in
the
this film,
movie.
because like, again, you never go full R word.
I can say it. You never go full retard. And the funny part of this scene is that he says true things.
It's factually accurate.
It's factually accurate. You don't go all the way. You don't go all the way. You only go halfway. Now, it's not only about being like moronic, stupid, or retarded. It's also about when you're doing like body modifications. So let me give you an example. Not The Machinist with Christian Bale. I know you haven't seen it, Bex, but in The Machinist, Christian Bale, the guy who plays Batman, he went to like 100 pounds. He was super duper skinny. And then he did Batman Begins, where he puffed up for the role, because he
So
needed to be
he put
muscular.
on what 138 pounds
Yeah.
in less than 18 months,
Yeah. And he
and most
took
of it was muscle. It's like
it was mostly muscle, but he went from like skull and bones to he's not super buffed, but he's combat ready. But also Charlize Theron, the movie I forget where she played the
Eileen
serial
Wuornos in Monster.
yeah, the monster, where she gained weight in order to look like the actual
Like
character
Eileen
as
Wuornos,
well.
yeah.
But there are instances where it's like too far, like in Christian Bale, but also in Elephant Man, which is basically the makeup, I would say. Maybe that's a wrong. No, you know what? That's a bad example. That's mostly makeup.
Well, no, but the mentions the all of the analogies that Kirk makes are completely apropos, because that's, and they were all completely factually accurate, where everyone lauded Dustin Hoffman's
Yeah.
role in Rain Man, but I Am Sam was kind of critically panned because like they're just too a little bit far on the spectrum.
Yeah. All right, cool. I like this thing where I'm trying to there, kind of there, where Jack Black's character is going into withdrawal.
Oh, Portnoy. Oh man.
It goes into withdrawal, and he takes out his last bit of cocaine, and the bat kind of swoops.
It's not cocaine. It's heroin. That is heroin.
Yeah, okay, heroin. And he takes it off, and the bat comes in, and he runs around while there's another scene going on. He runs around the guys, and then the bat falls dead. Well, not dead, OD'd, and he either tries to suck the heroin out through the mouth, but he literally bites the fucking head
pulls an
of the
Ozzy.
bat.
That's what he does.
He
He
pulls
pulls
an
an
Ozzy,
Ozzy Osbourne.
It's just a little tiny thing, and there's a whole scene happening while he's doing that chase, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? And then we have the double. They get Kevin Sandusky, the Jay Baruchel's
character, who, by the way, is the only one who went to the boot camp, and who they reveal later, who they say he's the only one who read the book or the script out of all of them that wasn't Tug.
Yeah,
because Tug, when because he mentioned the ambush scene, so like he obviously read the script.
Tug knew the script, or at least
the rest of them were like, I don't.
Yeah.
Portnoy, Jack Black's character, says what he goes like, I read the back flap.
And also, like Robert Downey Jr., he says, I don't read scripts. The scripts read me.
and again, Barris just goes like, what does that even mean?
Yeah. What does that mean? Like, but he is so in the character, he doesn't even care what he's saying, as long as there's also the point where the Steve Coogan gets
on
on
their cell phones. He goes like, there were no cell phones in 1967. So yeah, they're like, I'm all here.
I'm all method. Don't come to me with that shit. So he talks to Kevin, then Tug talks to Kevin, and I like the fact that Tug goes even more method than Kirk, where he actually takes the booty, like
he doesn't turn to pee. He cuts open a can.
He cuts it open. You can literally open it, but he goes, and it kind of leads to this, where the thing I wanted to touch upon is something that we still haven't discussed, is the blackface thing. And it's kind of, it started before, but it kind of picks
the
up
scene
here,
where it's always something with you people, and he goes, what do you mean you people? And then it's Al Pacino goes, what do you mean you people?
And it kind of escalates because they get separated from Tug, and the dynamic becomes, instead of Robert Downey Jr. and Ben Stiller their characters fighting all the time, it's
Yeah.
between him and Al Pacino, Brandon T. Jackson's character, because they're fighting over the whole Australian and blackface, and you're not the black guy here, and that kind of starts at this particular point where they kind of find out they're lost because Tug is stupid and he's an actor and he's not a tracker whatsoever.
When they pulled up the map, they were like, well, we were supposed to go this way. We've been going this way.
Yeah.
Like, so we're lost.
Right. So we did see Pecker a little bit at the start where he talks to Tug when Tug tells him about the whole adoption thing and everything. But now, after Tug separates from the group and he's in the forest and he just killed a panda and he goes all like crazy with it, gets the head on and the headgear and everything.
Well, as you mentioned, there was there's a lot of just kind of asides that are references to not only the filming but Apocalypse Now itself and also the Deer Hunter.
Yes.
All of those are in play when it comes to Tug Speedman's character.
Yes. It's very much a lot of the Apocalypse Now is very much on Tug's side of things. But it's not only the Martin Sheen character, but it's also the Marlon Brando character, which kind of happens when he goes into that camp. Yeah. I love the comedy here where he's like, at the start of the movie, it kind of mentions the fact that Tug is all about the pandas and like giving money to preserve the pandas, and then he kills a panda, and after he goes all method and crazy, he calls Peck on the satellite phone that he hid in his pants, and he says, I killed it. It's like, okay, you killed a hooker. You killed a hooker.
I killed the thing I love the most.
Yeah.
Wait, you killed the hooker? And then he tells the assistant, hey, get off the line now. Yeah. Okay, now what I need you to do is I need you to call me like, I killed a panda. He was like, Amanda.
Amanda, don't call her by name.
Not even her real name.
That's not a real name.
No, I killed a panda. He goes, oh, thank God, man. You scared me.
And
so are you on set? No, I am the set.
Oh, good. How about that TiVo? They didn't hook it up. It's like, no TiVo?
No TiVo.
And he goes ballistic. He goes absolutely ballistic over that fucking TiVo, which leads to the Les Grossman thing. But we got the first major argument. It's like, it's basically the second argument, but this is the major argument. And he goes, all these things, all the good roles they gave to Crocodile Dundee, and he suddenly his inner Australian gets offended. It's like,
what Dingo and Baby? And he goes, hey, you better watch it. You know that happened to an actual child, right?
And then he says, of course, the N-word, and he hugs him, and he says, that word for 400 years.
He quotes the theme song of the Jeffersons.
Yes. And it's like, what the fuck?
He goes like, wait, what? That's the Jeffersons. He goes like, I'm going to get you back for that. I'm going to tag you back for that.
Yeah. But this is where the satire of the blackface comes in, instead of doing an offensive blackface and I would say a non-offensive, but it's offensive for a reason. The satire is there for a reason. I don't know if you've seen Downey Jr. on Rogan's podcast. He was there before Rogan moved. I think it was pre-pandemic even. And
so was that when he was
Rogan said to him, look, Tropic Thunder, you can't do that today. And Downey is like, yeah, you can't do that today. And Rogan asks him, look, what's the whole deal with the blackface? And he said, well, a lot of my friends say don't do it, don't do that, but Ben told me you have to do it. It is there for a reason. I wrote this as a satire, not only for method actors, but also for people who are trying to take advantage of the method and go way beyond. So you have to do this. And Brandon T. Jackson is there to counterbalance this, because not only he's black, but he also points out the offensiveness of what Downey Jr.'s character, like Kirk Lazarus, is doing.
Mhm.
And that makes it kind of okay. Like, I don't mind it. I don't mind offensive things whatsoever, as long as it's appropriate. He doesn't do it to offend real life people. He does that to offend Brandon T. Jackson and the crowd he doesn't do it to be blackface. He does it for a reason. Let's just say that. And the whole reason is satire, because it's written in.
Yes.
And of
And
course,
also, even the actor himself didn't have malicious intent when he was doing it.
yeah.
And that's also to show it's just like, well, you don't know how loaded this kind of concept is. So in a way, it's mocking the character by, again, expressing his ignorance of the issue. So that's why it's not. That's why when I mentioned it before on the screenings that they had with multiple members of the African American journalists and the NAACP, it was all about trying to get not exactly their consent, but trying to gauge the overall opinion of this on whether or not we should really go forward with a project like this. Because, I mean, could you imagine the backlash of what would happen today?
Yeah, that's why a lot of people say you can't make this film today, because of that. Even that particular point, I disagree. I think you can do anything, but the studio system today will never, ever approve this. That's why it can't be made.
No.
You can technically make it. Now I'm blowing past a lot just to get to this point where he tags him back, and he even tells him, I don't know why you're doing this Chicken George thing. Chicken George is a reference to actual blackface.
Yeah.
To actual blackface, the real offensive one.
Mhm.
I don't know why you do this Chicken George shit, but whatever. And he
like, do you even know? And Kirk even acknowledges the fact, like, I don't know why I do it either.
Yeah, I don't know why I do it either. And he says, but I'm sorry. Don't take offense.
This is like I've never meant to cause any offense. Like, I never meant to hurt you or anyway. Yeah.
That's like the setup and the payoff for this particular thing, but it also kind of explains the blackface and why it's done, why it's there, and why it's technically why it's wrong and you shouldn't do it. But it's there for comedic effect.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think you might need to go back a bit, because
I will go back.
One of the best rants in there, Bex, I think you can agree with, is Les Grossman's tirade on the terrorists.
Yeah. Before I'll go into that, there's one little thing is where they kidnap him, right? They take him on, and he hits him with a cane, and because he hits him with a cane, he can't really talk. Like Ben Still's character.
Stop hitting me.
Yeah.
Wait, say that again.
Yeah. And he hits him again to say it exactly the same way, and he explains you're Simple Jack. This is the only movie we ever seen is Simple Jack.
And you know what the first? Yeah, again, thanks. You're right. The first bit of commentary that Ben Stiller had was where he goes, "Oh, you only have the VHS."
And of course, we'll start with Pecker, because I find both sides of this thing really funny, because you get Pecker talking to Flaming Dragon, and the first thing he thinks, because he's in Hollywood or a Hollywood agent, it's like, oh, you're a rival agency. There's no other way, right? Because that's all he knows. And he passes on to Les, and Les is it's a lot of people's favorite part of the movie is this
Yes. Which makes absolute sense because he goes, so, hey, fuckface, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to step 5 feet away from the phone and literally fuck your own face.
Yeah.
That's how he starts the conversation.
Tom Cruise said that the comedy wouldn't have worked if the guy wasn't overweight, fat. He genuinely got into the character after he put on the fat hands. Yeah, and everything.
I think it would have worked even better if it would have just been Tom Cruise as Tom Cruise saying these lines, because you don't expect Tom Cruise to ever say anything like that, really, outside of what, Vanilla Sky.
Maybe I slept through Vanilla Sky. I don't remember any part where he got super annoyed. Never mind. That's another day. Bex, was this your favorite scene?
It was. I loved it. I was just mesmerized. I couldn't work out which bits of him were him and which were not. So I didn't realize that he had like fat suit hands on. I didn't realize they were like, I don't know. I was like, what is him? What? His whole demeanor was just very, very funny. Just everything about it, not just his words.
It's so weird because I don't know what it is. I guess because he's the best actor in the fucking, maybe apart from Downey Jr. maybe, but at this point he is the best actor, like actor out of all of them, even McConaughey in this movie, because he's the most experienced. He did a variety of things, and this is so outside of what he normally does. That's why a lot of people didn't actually recognize it's actually him. Now, there's a bit there that probably didn't make your notes when he does the whole dance bit. You know, where he turns on the music and he does all the dance bit.
Get Low? That was Tom Cruise's idea.
No, it's not only Get Low. When he clicks on the music, there's two different songs, right? There's the Ludacris song and there's the Nelly song, right?
Yeah.
When he turns those on, there is no actual track.
Oh, there's not actual track. Okay.
When he does the little click and starts dancing, there was no backtrack. No, usually when they do these things in movies, they have to have the song right, like in the background, so the actors can literally follow, like maybe the beats or the songs, or do lip syncs, that sort of thing. There was no song playing because they didn't secure any rights to any song.
Oh, because see, Tom Cruise actually did.
He just did the moves
for the track. But
no,
also it does kind of, well, no. He actually was the one who actually picked the song, though.
He picked the song, but when they filmed the thing, they didn't have a song in mind.
No, but if you think about it, though, I just thought that maybe he just had white guy rhythm. That's why his rhythm was a little bit off.
No, there was no song playing.
See, that's funny.
Why.
Thanks.
So we jump in.
But I will say the best part about that too, that whole, his entire tirade there, and then at the end when he hangs up, the terrorist on the phone, someone who has clearly killed people before, is taking it back like, what? What?
The thing is, I don't know if you've noticed, because again, when you watch this critically, you notice a lot of things that you don't notice. Tom Cruise or Les Grossman didn't know who he was talking to. It was like he threw it to Peck.
Oh, yeah.
He was like,
I think he goes
found out who this was.
Who the fuck the Flame Dragon is?
Who the fuck that was? I don't even know who the fuck that was. But he knew it was in Asia, but because he heard their I don't know, intonation. Because he said, "We're flaming
Oh yeah,
dragon."
yeah.
Right. So this is disgusting.
Oh, the teeth.
The teeth, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, he didn't wash them first. He didn't even spit on them to clean them. He just shoved it in his face. Now, technically, he is in shackles and he's beaten mercilessly with a butt of a rifle by a teenager. But at least foof it or something, like do like this. Maybe something. No. And
something that got me with this is the fact that when he was trying to do his lines with the teeth in, the teeth were falling out. You know, you could see them flapping around in his open mouth. It was so funny.
Cut to what I know about this thing. When he did the Simple Jack scenes of the movie itself, those are actually the same prop.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
The same
Yes.
prop teeth?
Yes.
Yeah.
The same prop teeth. Because otherwise it wouldn't fit in his mouth. When they protrude, that's how it works. They literally have to do several takes with people who have, like, let's say Austin Powers. They did numerous amount of takes because sometimes the teeth would have literally fall off your mouth, even though they're supposed to be secured. But it's funny. So the boys. Oh no, I'll touch upon the second one. Second Les Grossman thing where he tells them to go fuck themselves. By the way,
we didn't negotiate with terrorists, and the room breaks out in applause.
No. I actually in real life use the "go fuck yourself" that intonation. I use that all the time. But yeah, he's like, we're not dealing with terrorists. And when Pecker's like, my friend is going to die, and he's like, we're gonna weep for him in the press.
Yep.
Because
that's going to happen. We're going to give it a respectable amount of time, and then Bill Hader's character was like, and then we're going to file an insurance claim, hopefully before the end of the fiscal year.
Exactly, because
it'll cover all of our losses on the film.
That's how movies work. And it, Bex, did you know that sometimes Hollywood make movies that they know will bomb in order to cover earnings from a really successful movie? Have you heard that?
No, never. Doesn't surprise me, but
so Hollywood. Do you know the concept of a B movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
A B movie is basically a movie that will probably not make its money, but it's there to compensate over movies that made a lot of money in order to justify lesser tax at the end of the year.
Yep.
So that kind of references both the tax thing that happens in Hollywood that a lot of people are aware of if you're in the Hollywood system. But yeah, it's kind of funny.
Yeah, but the whole setup, like, so what you're telling me is you want me to not only give up my client of 15 years, one of my best friends, for a G5
and some cash.
Like, and a G5 looks at a lot of money.
He looks him dead in the eye and he says, "Yes, yes, lots of money." It's like big dick energy.
Big dick energy. was it hell like swinging past your knees energy?
And I like Bill Hader as the second night. Oh, flip it and reverse it. Yeah. It. All right. Enough games. We are just about to see the final rescue scene. So we'll go to our second segment of the night, which is called, if I have everything prepared, Screen Fighter.
Round 1, fight.
What is Screen Fighter? Screen Fighter is we take two movies, pit them together, and see which one is the best one. There's no discernible difference between the two. Either it's very good or very bad. We go and fall on our criteria, which is it is Friday night, Saturday night, out with the boys, out with the girls, out with your significant other. We've got only two movies. Which one will we pop in and watch? So let me set this up. Dang, bing, bonk, bonk, bamp. We'll put us on the side this time.
Ooh.
Which is the better movie? The Goonies or Outbreak?
I'm
Chat
gonna go with
participation is
I'm seeing chat, but I'm going Goonies for sure.
Goonies. Cool. Feelings?
I would say with how relevant Outbreak is now, Goonies.
Chat says Outbreak, or at least one member of the chat says Outbreak. I'm going to go with Goonies. Seen it lately. It is a spectacularly fun movie. Sometimes it doesn't make sense. Outbreak, it makes too much sense.
Too much sense, yes.
Too much sense. The Rocky Horror Picture Show or Alice in Wonderland? I'm going to go first. My favorite Disney movie of all time. By the way, the poster is fucking awesome. And my least favorite movie that every one of my friends love.
I think that's the different version of Alice in Wonderland as well.
Oh, it says 1976. Oh,
that's the X-rated. That's the porno.
That's not the X-rated. No. It says. Wait a minute. I am blind. I have not seen this. It says X-rated musical comedy.
Yeah,
that's
nice.
the porn Alice in Wonderland.
That's like the Fritz the Cat version of Alice in Wonderland.
So that's the default winner, right?
Yes,
I was going to
that's a winner for me.
I would say, Meth, you have not seen that one.
Is that kind of show?
I didn't either. I'm just finding this out.
What makes you think I haven't seen this? I just saw Alice in Wonderland. I didn't see it. It didn't say 1945 or whatever it came out the first time.
I just assumed that you haven't seen it.
Do not assume my depravity. I am a degenerate. I'm a well-known degenerate. I
don't know if you can see in the cover that the Mad Hatter is flashing Alice.
You're just
on the cover.
You're just giving me more reasons to pick Alice in Wonderland. I don't understand where you're going with this. Alice in Wonderland is my pick. Bex?
Well, I was gonna say Rocky Horror, but if we're going by the movie that's in front of us, I have to say Alice in Wonderland.
Awesome.
I would still have to go with the Rocky
Chat
Horror
says
Picture
Rocky.
Show.
We need one more vote. One more vote, guys. Just give us a vote. Because we've got 2-2 action here. Let's go with the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I know lots of people love it. Bad News Bears or $1 Million Baby?
No, okay, that's the new one.
That's the
new Bad News Bears with Billy Bob Thornton.
I think this is with Keanu. No,
it's Billy Bob.
No, Billy Bob Thornton. Yeah.
I haven't seen either of these.
Interesting. I would say Bad News Bears is worth it more than the other one because I dislike it.
Given the previous criteria that we set of just having a fun time, definitely Bad News Bears.
Yeah.
$1 Million Baby in the end. Well,
let's just say this:
would you ever watch it? Because I could spoil it to you. Because we spoiled it.
No. We discussed it. We discussed it. The better movie, definitely $1 Million Baby. The better time, Bad News Bears. So we're gonna go Bad News Bears.
Yeah, I'm down for a good time.
Yeah. Resident Evil or Beetlejuice?
Bex is gonna hate me.
Bex?
I'm gonna go Beetlejuice. I think Beetlejuice is classic and very, very good. I watched it probably when I was probably a little bit too young to watch it, in all honesty.
Myself included. Yeah, I've watched it
Yep.
way too young.
Yeah, Beetlejuice for sure for me.
For me too. Feelings?
I would have to agree. I mean, was one of our first episodes that we did. We reviewed Beetlejuice. So
Sorry, Seth. I didn't even look what you said. I see it now. He said Resident Evil.
he loves that Resident Evil film.
Passion of the Christ, the Mel Gibson saga, or the Thin Red Line.
So who wants to have a bad night? Watch one of these films.
Yes. These are not feel good movies. I would say for me, it's Thin Red Line. This came out same year as Saving Private Ryan. And they're basically dealing with the same war on different ends of, one of them is in Europe and the other one, this one is in the Pacific. They're very horrible. Very horrible. It's a horrible watch because it's a very greedy war movie.
Yep.
The Passion of the Christ. Yikes, bro. Have you seen it, by the way? Feels?
Mm-hmm.
Whew. I would say the drunken Mel Gibson who confessed to hating the Jews. I'd say maybe was too much worked up in this movie.
So you're saying that he went too method?
He went too method. X-Files or Star Trek First Contact. First Contact is the one with the Borg,
yeah.
where they go back to the past and try and to Zephyrin Cochrane times.
Weren't there like 4 Star Trek movies with the Borg?
Yeah, no, there was only one.
I thought,
but there were 4
Nemesis
TNG movies. There was forget the names now. The one with Captain Kirk, then this one, then Nemesis.
Yeah, I thought Nemesis also had to deal with the Borg.
No, Nemesis was the 4th one, and there's another one. There's 4. Come on, just pick one.
I'm not a fan of either, so yeah.
All right, First Contact for me.
I'm going to say First Contact as well. I'm a big fan of the X-Files and Star Trek as a series, not so much of the movies.
Agree. Last pairing, The Professional, or in Europe, Leon, or Jackal.
Okay.
It's not Jackal, it's the old Jackal movie about the Jackal assassin. Have you seen it? I've seen it.
I've not seen either of these.
The Day of the Jackal is kind of a hard watch. It's a lot of political commentary, and it's very of the time. Let's say that it talks about it talks about the late 60s. The real Jackal, it's like a assassin that was hired by a lot of communists or communist, let's say, factions in Europe and in the Baltics and all that stuff. Leon is also about an assassin, but a very different take. You should definitely watch The Professional or Leon.
Yeah,
it's really, really good. Bex,
I'm adding it to
Gary.
the list.
Yeah, Gary Oldman is fantastic.
Yeah, Gary Oldman is fantastic in it.
And I will never be able to forget the cable adaptation they had in the United States, because they have to, this is before they would just blur stuff out. They would overdub it, so they'd make up words.
Yeah.
Right. So Gary Oldman saying Mickey Mouse bullshit instead of motherfucking bullshit. Still.
Yeah. you should definitely watch the European version. It's called Leon. All right, cool. The chat says Leon, by the way. So
that was the first film that Natalie Portman was in, right?
It's
Yeah, it
Natalie
was
Portman's
professional.
film debut.
Yeah,
She was
like 8 or
11 or
9.
no, she was
No,
11 or 12.
she was
She was
really
supposed
young.
to be 8 or 9, and she was about 11.
Okay, I know she was in a small independent comedy that was after that about these guys that got back together at this. Anyway, that is friends reuniting, and she was played one of the neighbors that of the one of the friends that came back. Their like niece or something that was staying with them for a while, and she was supposed to be 13, but Natalie Portman was only like 12. And
That's after that.
yeah,
No, she always at the beginning of her career, she always
Played younger?
downplayed.
Yeah.
Yeah, she always played younger than what she was really. Because have you ever? I actually talked to Natalie Portman in real life. I worked as a security guard in a restaurant, and she did a movie in Israel with Israeli actors, and she came to eat at the restaurant. She is a very nice person. She is a tiny little woman.
Oh yeah, is she itty bitty?
She's not only like short, she is super thin. She's a tiny, tiny little woman, but she's nice enough to come and talk to me, like say hi and ask me where I'm from and what I did and blah blah blah. And I did mention I like love movies and love Leon as well. She was like, "Oh, blah 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 blah. That was nice," and she left. That's my conversation with Hollywood.
That's nice.
Natalie Portman.
Goodbye, peasant.
I didn't want to look. This was after the prequels, and I didn't really want to say what I really thought about the
It's like,
prequels.
So
Padme,
it's like,
what's up with
so
that?
was that you on set, or was that a robot playing you?
Don't get me started.
Inquiring minds want to know.
So, do you want to? Oh, by the way, if we're talking about Hollywood, you always have to be gay
Yes.
sometime.
Oh,
Hollywood,
no, I was
apparently.
going to say, sending a callback to one scene that we glossed over a little bit before when
Yeah.
both with Al Pacino and Kirk, when they were watching over the performance of Simple Jack, when Al Pacino's like, "Oh wow, this is a surprisingly good movie. I thought this movie was shit."
No,
Kirk's
he
going like,
said-
"Yeah,
no.
that's because he dialed down the retard."
He said his performance on stage was better than the movie because on stage he down the retard, so he
Retard,
didn't
yeah.
go full retard.
Yep.
Yeah, and the whole time Portnoy in the background where he even tells everybody gets Kevin's name wrong until the very end,
Yes.
when it's Tug who gets his name right. But he goes, "Listen, I got a role in the next Fatties film. It's got your name on it if you just come on time." But he's like, "No, you're gonna have to sweat it out. Your mother's a cancerous whore." You're like, "Whoa!"
He flips on him so fucking
And
fast.
he goes, "Hey man, remember that time I called your mom a cancerous whore? I'm sorry, I was out of bounds."
Now, to be fair, I'm not a Jack Black fan. Not at all. This is his favorite, like my favorite, my favorite character in any movie that he did, and that's including Shallow Hal. That's including
Now, see,
Shallow
I
Hal.
thought Shallow Hal was a bad movie.
Really?
I think probably one of his best roles was, oddly enough, in High Fidelity.
Oh, I forgot about High Fidelity. Well, I'm not, like I said, I'm not a big fan of Jack Black
Yeah,
at all.
that's fine.
But yeah, I like him in this particular part. So awesome. And I like the fact that when they kind of had this little talk and they talk about the people who are waiting at home for them, and it kind of blurts out from Al Pacino that
Al Pacino randomly blurts it out. Well, and again, what I find so funny is it's always he's the guy who has a song about how much he literally like, "I love pussy." That's the name of the song.
Yeah.
That was the name of the song, and it's all in the lyrics.
And when he blurts it out, and then they say, "Oh, it's okay to be gay sometimes,"
and you see that look on his face where he goes. You could see that look on the actor Brandon T. Jackson. His role, as Al Pacino there was
Yeah.
absolutely perfect. When he blurts it, you're like, oh shit. Because when Kirk was like, yeah, Lance, and wait, what did you say?
Yeah, what did you say?
I had to Google immediately who the Lance was he was referring to, and was stunned to find out who it was.
Yep.
Oh, he says Lance, and when you watch this for the first time, it's like, okay, that's the dude's name. And when you go to the end, and it's
At the
actually
Oscar scene, it's
Lance
Lance Bass.
from
You're like,
NSYNC.
Yeah.
And
Who
at the time, Lance just came out
Yeah.
like a year before, and it was a big thing for him to come out. Even though, it's nobody cares today. Nobody cares.
Yeah. It was a big
and
thing.
It's like
then, but-
it's like Lance from NSYNC that he was talking about. It
Love
kind of
that.
puts two and two together.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but but Jack Black as Portnoy, his rant to Brandon to try to untie.
Yeah.
Sorry, to Al
I'll
Pacino.
stroke the shaft, cuddle the balls, and
I'll
eat the
just
gravy.
Swallow the gravy. Come on, man, bring it over here.
Oh, see, this is why I love this movie. These like the little things.
Yeah.
So they go and try and save Tug Speedman, and
their infiltration plan. What was it? It was when they had Kirk's up front, and oddly enough, this is the weirdest thing. It's a white guy doing blackface, doing yellowface.
Yeah. It's like we'll call it compounded with the racism.
It's layered.
But it's there for a reason. That's the whole point.
Yeah, I know. But no,
It's
but
the
as he's
satire.
saying,
that's why it's funny. Because
No,
it's
what he was saying is, like,
on
they're-
purpose to poke you in the eye with it.
yeah, but he was saying that they're speaking Mandarin. He goes, "How do you know that?" Well, when that one time when I was working in the factory of Beijing, and it was the third Golden Globe and my second Oscar. It's like,
Yeah. I like the fact that if you read the subtitles when he talks like Mandarin, sometimes it makes sense and sometimes it doesn't make sense.
oh no, it's not supposed to. He's supposed to actually lose his lines there because they specifically make it say, like, he goes, "My mind is constipated."
Yeah. And he mixed it up being a rice paddy farmer and a poppy field farmer, and that's where they get like
Because he says,
they find him out.
He goes, "I thought you said you were a rice farmer."
Yeah.
He goes, "I know, I diversified."
Yeah, diversified. And then he said, "I'm a land farmer, motherfucker." So they go in. Oh, wait. I'm trying to get. Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, it was in the first when they do the ambush scene. I'm gonna go back to it. And then they do the ambush scene and they just fire on all directions. Al Pacino does like a
Michael Jackson,
Michael
like a
Jackson
full thriller move. Yeah,
with
he does the
with
full
that-
thriller
with the
kick.
feet,
Yeah,
and then he shoots like, oh shit, fucking funny. That I'm saying, I'm calling it right now.
And he
That was
also
an
even says in
ad-lib
the middle
move.
of the forest as they're walking, and he goes, "Man, I am so thirsty. I'm so glad I brought this booty sweat from Da Nang."
And I'll touch upon this, but we're gonna jump all over the place. So he's there guarding them, and it cuts back to different guys, but in this particular area, he's like, "You're not Al Pacino. Al Pacino is Devil's Advocate. He's Slumdog, not Slumdog. Oh, what's the name of the movie? Anyway, he like, you're not the real Al Pacino."
Chino. Yeah,
And he takes the gun and starts blasting. I love that because it references to how ridiculous Al Pacino is.
Chino is. Yeah.
Of course.
So we have Portnoy running away with Tran, who was
Yeah.
the little dictator trying to find the heroine.
Yes. And I'm trying to get to that specific spot. It's real hard, real hard to get to that specific spot. We'll come back to it because I've got this. Where Kirk and Tug are talking, and Tug goes into full
Full Metal
Marlon
Jacket.
Brando.
Yeah. And what's funny is when the first time that they meet up, he shows them the tiny little stick Oscar.
Yeah.
What's that? He goes, is that supposed to be it? I was like, no, it's a Twigman.
It's a Twigman. My son gave it to me.
Yeah,
and
so
then
the other line, and it will like,
and
where
where they go back and forth and just like,
no, but
Downey,
I'm the dude playing the dude disguised as another dude. You a dude who doesn't even know what dude he is.
And that kind of sets off Kirk going into all of his different characters. Oh, I'm not Father O'Malley. I'm not this. And he
I'm
sheds
not Neil Armstrong trying to hide out in the back of a Burbank studio trying to, re-enter the orbit in a refrigerator box?
Yeah. He's like peeling away all the different things, and he finds out that I don't know who I am anymore.
Because he does. He takes the wig off.
Yeah, he takes the wig off and he
facial
takes
hair.
the thing off, and it goes into all the different characters he got Oscars for. God, got it for a little second. There, the mountain of heroin. The mountain of heroin. It's like, I don't deserve this. I've been a bad boy.
Now, how much you love Indiana Jones? Were you not getting that vibe from this shot?
There's two things that are references here. One, it's this shot. This shot is the Indiana Jones shot from Raiders of the Lost Ark. But before that, when he encounters the mountain, it is the mountain from Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Yeah.
There's a point where Dreyfuss' character, he keeps doing the thing that picturing the mountain,
because he started actually building out of mashed potatoes at one point.
Yeah, he built it from mashed potatoes, and he's like, this means something. It's almost the most recognizable thing in Close Encounters of the Third Kind. By the way, Bex, I know you haven't watched it. You should watch it. You know what? There's plenty of movies that you need to watch, and when you watch them, Tropic Thunder becomes a whole other experience as a movie experience. Yes, I know.
So these are references within references that are just like, they shot them that way on purpose just to be like, we're smart.
I think it's because Ben Stiller, besides he loves being an actor, he loves Hollywood. I'm not saying the movies. I think he loves Hollywood, or at least he sees the absurdity in it. Mm-hmm. And then he puts in all the different references that kind of fit, but don't really, because that mountain doesn't really fit, but it fits in this movie, right? It takes something and it turns it into like a different thing and different element.
Also, on the point of absurdity, it was Portnoy's kind of I would say altercation with the two guards that come in, and because it was Baruchel's character who was telling him, hey, you're not just a joke, and he said, yes, I am. I'm only here. People are only here. They only care about me because I fart and I make them laugh. And he farts and they laugh, and he just runs at them with hands.
He runs in with a full blast of heroin. Yeah.
But that not being the only absurd part, he goes, listen, we got to go. We only got 16 hours until they wake up.
Yeah.
As if he knows from experience.
Yeah, but it's just jelly beans. Just jelly beans.
Jelly beans.
Yeah. So they do a quick getaway, surprisingly enough, because they were not in a boot camp. And he like goes, he tells Kirk, dude, I have a son, I'm going back. And when he goes back, the son stabs him in the neck.
Stabbing him.
This part made me squeal with laughing.
Yes.
It's like, I was wrong.
And he throws the
Yeets
throw
the
is,
child.
yeah, he yeets the child, and it's super comical because it's a fucking doll.
I love it at the end too when that the little child actor
he does
gets
this?
up and goes,
Yeah.
Yeah, that hilarious.
I will say too, one point we did kind of gloss over was the whole how Four Leaf, Nick Nolte's character, his whole story was a lie.
Yeah. When he gets revealed, and when they catch them for the fun, he was like, his hands are off the screen, and suddenly, hands, sorry.
Yeah. Well, that the reaction that all of them have, because Danny McBride was the one who caught him.
Yeah, but later on in the chopper, he's like, "Oh, Robert Downey Jr. says it." He's like, "Oh, you have hands now?"
Well, no, it was Portnoy's character, Jack Black's character, when they're on the back of the RV, goes, "Oh my God, you regrew your hands."
And of course, we've got the setup and the payoff, and this is the payoff where they have the little discussion and harkens back to the start of the movie, and Tug has that extra tear in his the side.
You
like,
did it,
oh,
man.
You're crying
You learned how
now.
to cry.
Yeah.
And then also, like, again, as Beck says, you mentioned before, I'm cold, man, because your legs are in a puddle. And also, Jay Baruchel has one of the best little side notes where when Kirk goes in to grab Tug, he goes, "Cover me," and Kevin Baruchel goes like, "Cover him with what?"
With what? Cover him with what? And of course, the TiVo saga, the setup and the payoff. Yeah.
Tugger, I got you, buddy. I got you. I told you I'd bring
you, TiVo. Which in 2008 was a big deal. Not anymore.
Well, they brought DVR service. Just all cable companies have some kind of inherent DVR service now.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the TiVo is what saves the day, basically.
Yeah.
And of course, this movie is meta over meta over meta. He actually wins an Oscar, not for the Tropic Thunder movie that they were going to make, but what happened behind the scenes of the movie that they made. So it's meta over meta over meta. And
which he wins the Oscar for Tropic Blunder.
Tropic Blunder, exactly. And of course, the last scene. Remember, what did he tell him, Bex? What Bill Hader? How effective is he? Remember?
Nope.
Les Grossman tells him, seriously, a nutless monkey can do your job.
Oh,
but go do the parties, go take credit.
Go take all your credit and everything because he said originally, I couldn't have done it without you. And then at the end he goes, no, but seriously though, a nutless monkey
can do your job. And he waits for him to leave. And he does like he left. Now I can really party. And he goes into a whole dance. Again, he dances without any music in the background. All the moves that he did without any music whatsoever. It's when you know it, for me, it makes it a whole lot better. Because he does that thing with the head.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say, Murphy, I caught the end of your watch party and you were dancing without the music, and it was fantastic.
Yeah. That was the whole point. I was trying to do the fucking thing. I did the same thing. Like, it was blasting in my ear, my headphones. I have like a small volume thing because I usually put it on halfway through because these headphones are really, really good, especially when they're tight on the ears. I full blasted it and like did full on thing because I love the song. It's a ludicrous song. By the way, the original video clip of the song is absolutely fucking ridiculous. It is ludicrous completely.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because he has a massive hand throughout the whole thing. You should watch it. It's fucking hilarious. I might pull it up. You know what? I'll pull it up. And they use the song to do the credits and have the last one being Tom Cruise. And I distinctly remember watching this in the movie theater and people were like doing this. It's like, oh shit, that's Tom Cruise?
Yeah, but did you see also who he was up against for the Oscar?
Oh, Jon Voight, Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks in a wheelchair.
In a wheelchair.
And the Tobey Maguire character from A Sinner's Alley.
Yeah. And the Tobey Maguire from Satan's Alley.
It was a callback from the trailer that they had at the beginning of the movie.
Okay, let me see if I can not move, bitch, get out the way. Get Back, right?
Yeah.
I think it's Get Back. Yeah. I'm gonna have to put it on because it's so fucking funny. Oh, both of his hands are huge.
Yeah.
I thought just one, because just one is even funnier. There we go. There we go. Bam, bam, boosh. There we go. It constantly moving, but this is the entire song is there in the bathroom. That's it. He's got these huge fucking hands. It's clearly a prosthetic because he can only do this.
No, he just had localized elephantitis.
Shut up. Oh.
See, that's the kind of stuff I don't pick up on. I see that and I'm like, oh God, what's wrong with them?
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly. Ludicrous for the win. Yeah. That's before he did the whole Fast and Furious thing.
Furious, yep.
Yeah. All right. That is the end of the movie. Bex, give us your tiny summarization of it.
Okay, as you guys know, I love the movie, and even as somebody who doesn't get all of the references, and they're touching on the movies that it's drawing from, still incredibly enjoyable and one of my favorites. So I am going to have to go and do my homework and learn some of those references. I think I'll enjoy it even more to watch it again.
Definitely. All my feelings, even though you're quite busy this week, you managed to squeeze in three viewings.
Yes. Yeah, in between conference calls. It's a rough week. No, again, as I said before, I genuinely enjoyed watching it every single time, and again, I wouldn't mind watching it again later. Yeah. I think it's a great film, and as I went through before on behind the screen stuff, I mean, there was so much effort that was put into this movie that it's a miracle it was made to begin with. And the fact that it was made and it did well too was just a phenomenal little bit of Hollywood magic.
Now, it can't be a Meffy review at the end of this without mentioning Mrs. Meff, because when we went and watched it, she hated this movie. She hates this fucking movie.
I can see that.
It's a Ben Stiller movie. It's like saying what's his name? Adam Sandler movie to her.
For me, like, hey Kyle, you want to go see the new Benedict Cumberbatch movie? Like, do you not want to talk to me ever again?
Exactly. That's her reaction. Now, I think it's maybe even a year ago that it was on the TV, like cable or something, and I was like, whoa, let's watch it. I kind of like this movie. She's like, I don't want to watch this. It's like, please just watch it with me. She had a face throughout this movie. And when we finished watching it, she said, I like the Les Grossman stuff. I do not want to watch this movie ever again. By the way, same reaction she had with original Deadpool. I do not want to watch this movie ever again. So yeah, it was fun. It was fun even messing with it, trying to make a coherent story with it, doing the short versions. It was a joy to dissect, analyze, criticize, watch it critically, which is a different thing for just putting it on and watching it. It's so much fun. I'm getting so much out of it. At times, not the best writing, at times, not the best pace, but a phenomenally great movie. References to Hollywood being meta over meta over meta, done in a way that is not really like doing this to your head. When they do meta over meta movies or like fourth wall breaking, sometimes it kind of falls apart. In this movie, just awesome. And because it was a joy to work on, we are going to watch, to end this lovely podcast, we will watch the short version of this movie. Hopefully the sound will come off, but I think it's a little bit low. So we'll see.
Okay.
Let me just do this and that and this and that. Okay. The short version of Tropic Thunder.
Okay, here we go. The short version.
Who left the fridge open?
In some countries, it's considered a compliment.
5-time Academy Award winner Kirk Lazarus.
Mother Nature just pissed her pants soon!
Hit that director in the face really fucking hard. Now shut the fuck up and let me do my job.
Let's go and make the greatest war movie ever!
Oh. Corn syrup and latex.
Me and Adam dropped character till I'd done the DVD commentary.
Big ass titties!
Everybody knows you never go full retard. We're lost, man! Tell them, McCluskey. Tell them what time it is.
I don't believe you people.
What do you mean, you people?
What do you mean, you people? We all talk like this, huh? Yes, sir. Huh?
A hooker. All right, you killed a hooker. Hadn't hooked it up? No TiVo?
Because they had one good partner for a black man, they gave it to Crocodile Dundee.
Pump your brakes, kid. That man's a national treasure. For 400 years. That word.
What the fuck? You are Simple Jack.
We are Flaming Dragon.
Take a big step back and literally fuck your own face! I will fuck you up!
Woodies. More like Simple Jack teeth.
How about I send you a hobo's dick cheese?
Go fuck yourself.
In the jungle alone for some money in a G5.
Yes.
Why you still doing this Chicken George shit? I have no idea.
Neither do I.
It's beyond me.
It's beyond me.
Look.
Man, everyone's gay once in a while.
If you untie me, I will literally suck your dick right now.
I'm a land farmer, motherfucker!
I already am home.
I'll always be a screw-up. No one will ever respect me.
This is all I deserve. I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
I think I might be none, buddy.
The bridge! Blow the fucking bridge!
A nutless monkey could do your job.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we end the show. So, before we leave everything, please check Bex's channel out on twitch.tv/BexNez or her YouTube channel, YouTube/C/Becky Lee. Go ahead and have a like on this video and subscribe to the channel. And of course, meet us next week where we discuss, sir. What are we discussing? The Joker. The Joker with Joaquin Phoenix. Oh, it's going to be a good one. Let's go. We're going to go dark. We're going to go.
You got to be joking with that pronunciation. That's what you got to be joking about.
No, it's Joaquin, right?
No, it's Joaquin.
Joaquin. Whatever. Joaquin. Anyway, if you like to contact me over on social media, at Meffistoe on Twitter or at Meffistoe79 on Instagram, which I don't really use, but whatever. Email us at the Reel McCoy podcast at gmail.com or go watch us on Twitch just in case you really want to. Twitch.tv/the Reel McCoy podcast. And we'll see you all next week. Good night.